Lord of the Mysteries. Chapter 1426. In modern day, 24. Even though I'm separated from them at a distance, with all the weirdly dressed people in the way, I still see the naked man bound in dark red ropes. As for whether he's wearing something over the lower half of his body, or what he's wearing, I can't see it because of the table, chairs, and other things that are in the way. In short, the impression that guy gives me is a pervert. And he might even be into S&M. Of course, it's unclear whether he's a real pervert or just cosplaying. All right, you can go in now, the security guard says casually. Huh! I doubt my ears. I had lied about being here for Vice President Wu in my rush to give an excuse. I didn't expect to get permission at all. My original plan was to sneak in while the security guard went to inquire at the front desk and catch that Mushroom Man. However, the large-scale cosplay scene inside gave me a shock, causing me to temporarily fall into a dazed state of questioning myself. Who am I? Where am I from? And what am I doing? I didn't have the chance to take advantage of this opening. Vice President Wu has given you permission to enter. Why? Do you not understand what I'm saying? The security guard senses my confusion. I'm even more surprised. The Vice President Wu personally said to allow me entry? Is he trying to pull me into his marketing team? The security officer glances at me. You aren't very familiar with Vice President Wu? I've only met him a few times. I quickly emphasize. The security guard turns to look at the company's interior. Seeing that Vice President Wu wasn't nearby, he says, Vice President Wu doesn't like to talk. He doesn't answer questions or give instructions. Later, we figured out the rules. Whatever he doesn't object to on the spot is him giving tacit approval for. Is that so? But it could also be because of other reasons. I once knew a friend who wasn't smart and had a slow reaction. He only understood the first joke when someone was beginning the second joke. Perhaps Vice President Wu is such a person. He doesn't answer the question because he's still digesting the information. He needs more than 10 minutes to think about the answer. I don't argue with the security guard and just mutter inwardly. Since I have an opportunity like this, I obviously wouldn't care if Vice President Wu really acquiesced or if the creator had given him looks but forgot to give him intelligence. I immediately walk past the security guard and enter the neighboring company. I carefully circle the edge of the room, which is in a noisy din with all kinds of crazy dancing happening, searching for the Mushroom Man I created by mistake. Skull decorations. Blood-colored juice, painting made of leather. Not only is the perverted boss next door a multi-level marketing person, but he also believes in some strange cult. As I scan my surroundings, my heart beats faster as my urge to escape increases. If I wasn't already an assassin and was able to do a leap of faith and be in possession of extraordinary powers, I definitely wouldn't have dared to stay any longer. As I walk, I see a long table filled with breakfast. At this moment, a man in a long black robe with a hood suddenly turns his head and looks at me. Who are you? He asks hesitantly. I reply without any scruples. I'm cosplaying an employee. Just because all of you are cosplaying cultists or all kinds of strange figures, does that forbid me from doing a serious role? Employee. The man repeats my words in confusion. He doesn't seem to have a high IQ. That's true. If I'm doing the MLM business, I'll definitely like this kind of member more. They're easy to deceive. I take this opportunity to walk past the black-robed man and to the long table. As I sweep my gaze, joy suddenly surges in my heart. I see that Mushroom Man. It's lying in a pile of roasted mushrooms, wrapping itself with a layer of sauce, pretending to be ordinary, normal food. However, its seductive aura betrays it. Even though there's a lot of food on the long table, it still stands out. It doesn't seem to have a high IQ as well. I pretend not to notice as I slowly approach. Then I extend my hand toward the Mushroom Man. At this moment, a fork stabs the Mushroom Man and lifts it up before I can get to it. The Mushroom Man attempts to struggle, but to no avail. It's stuffed into the mouth of a beautiful-looking man with a fork in his chewed. Poor thing. As it had no mouth, it was eaten by the other party before it could even scream. Me. What? What's wrong? The man with the androgynous looks asks in a muffled voice while eating the mushroom. Are you all right? I ask hesitantly. Gulp. The beautiful man swallows the last mouthful of mushroom. I'm good. Really? You're fine? I ask subconsciously. I have a nagging feeling that a strange creature like the mushroom man wouldn't die so easily. I'm fine. The beautiful man shakes his head. You are? I'm with Vice President Wu. How may I address you? I carefully observe the other party's condition. The beautiful man's expression sinks. I'm Mr. A. I stare at him for a few seconds before smiling. I'm heading to Vice President Wu's side. Without any hesitation, I maintain my smile and quickly leave the long table and walk out the door. After leaving the neighboring company, I turn to the stairwell and hold in my expressions. I take out my phone. Hello, is this the police? I found the site of a large-scale pyramid scheme.